Well, Fox 61, along with the state's Office of the Arts and the Department of Education, have all come together to partner on what we call Connecticut Creative Futures. And this morning, we're happy to have on the show Joanie DiMartino, the museum curator of the Prudence Crandall Museum in Canterbury. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me today.
And glad to have you here. First things first, please tell us about the museum and its importance in American history.
Sure, absolutely. The events that happened here at the Canterbury Female Boarding School really played a role in shaping the nation. What happened here in Canterbury actually impacted two United States Supreme Court cases and laid the foundation for the 14th Amendment. Today is actually an important anniversary at the Canterbury Female Boarding School because it is the day in 1833 where Prudence Crandall and her sister Elmira Crandall were arrested for breaking what was known as the Black Law. And this was a law that said that it was illegal for African Americans to enter the state of Connecticut for the purpose of getting an education. And that law was passed because Prudence Crandall was teaching, and Sarah Harris, who was a local African American young woman, asked if she could attend the school as well. When Prudence integrated her school, the town had a very negative response, and so did the state, which passed this very disagreeable law. And Prudence Crandall decided that she was going to essentially participate in nonviolent civil disobedience by continuing to teach. She thought it was a completely inappropriate and unconstitutional law. And so she was arrested on this day over 100 years ago. And her trials laid subsequently the foundation for the Supreme Court cases Dred Scott and Brown versus Topeka Board of Education, and also, as I mentioned, the 14th Amendment. So we are open this summer after a 2-year significant restoration, and I would love to see visitors throughout the summer. We are open until the end of October, and I hope some of your viewers are able to come visit us this year.
I know, and you were just talking to me about those renovations, including structural supports, adding air conditioning in just to make people comfortable while they're there. But in the short time we have, tell me just about the exhibit specifically. What specifically can people see when they go there?
Yeah, right now, our building has always been our most important artifact because it is the location. We are a National Historic Landmark and Archaeological Preserve. This is the site where Crandall ran her school, and the students attended while, undergoing harassment while trying to get an education. So just really being in the space. We don't currently have any exhibits up at present, but we are giving tours. We are hoping to launch a major exhibit next year called the Canterbury Female Boarding School, Courage, Conscience, and Continuance, which will go up next year. We're going to be working on it. We're actually working on it now over the summer and in the winter. Yes.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And like you said, what a resounding legacy, that something that happened back in the 1830s affected all the way up to Brown versus Board of Ed, which was the 1950s, if I remember. That is an amazing legacy coming from Canterbury and the Prudence Crandall Museum. Joanie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you on the show.